Go too little, because this means obviously you don't have enough exposure to other potential projects that could do well. But then you don't want to go too crazy and add too many projects because you cannot manage them all. Now, once you found the narrative, right? You found the narrative, you found the projects. What do you do then? And this is the magic question, because ultimately, even if you believe what you're doing is correct, and we're going to talk about whether what you're doing is actually correct or not, but let's just assume you believe you found the right narrative, you believe you found the right projects, what happens then? And this is the point where almost everybody gets stuck, because you're essentially just holding projects, you're waiting for them to go up. When they go down, you feel disheartened and you wonder, maybe is it time for me to exit the project? And many people have something called shiny object syndrome. So any time their project isn't doing well and a project looks like it's doing well, they'll move out of that project that they've done all the research on, that they were so bullish on. They move into the project that appears to be moving. And then when you enter that project ends up, going down in value, and you end up losing money, and you repeat this cycle until eventually the market completely crashes, right? And some of you are saying, wow, you know me all too well, right? Don't worry, everybody has been there. You're not the only one. So what do you do instead? Number one, you have to have a level of conviction. I'm not talking about delusion, I'm saying conviction. If you've done the research, you believe this is a good project based on your research, then let the project play out. Whether it's not doing well at the moment, let it play out. You let the project do its thing. And then obviously when the market is time to peak, then you cash out. Or if the narrative is, just getting started, then maybe you only take out 50% and let the rest run, right? So it all depends. So actually let those projects play out that you're holding. Now, number two, when do you actually cash out? Because I know a lot of you are saying, yeah, this is what I struggle with the most. When to cash out? Now, I've said to you all already, the reality is the majority of the coins in the market, they will all crash, right? So there's no project that's going to withstand a market sell-off, right? So on the next market sell-off, we are going to see almost every single coin in the market crash, apart from stable coins. So the clue there is, it makes sense if you don't want to move into cash, maybe you move into stable coins. But you do have to understand that when the market is going to crash, every single coin in the cryptocurrency market is going to crash, which means you need to make sure you're out of your positions at the right time. And there's several ways you can do this. For example, as I just said, maybe you only cash out 80% and leave 20% just in case the market rebounds and it becomes a super home run, right? Or maybe you cash out 50%, right? Or maybe if you really want to make sure you still have skin in the game in the market, you move all into some value plays like Bitcoin, etc., right? But there's many things you can do when the market is about to reverse. But the most important thing is you actually are prepared to take action and to essentially protect your capital. Because at the end of the day, I would say this is what 99% of the majority of people in the cryptocurrency market struggle with. And that's why I said before, and I warned everyone, 95% of people in the market unfortunately will lose money because they just don't know when to take profit, how to take profit. And what's more dangerous is on the next market peak, there is no bounce back. There is no recovery. The majority of these coins, unfortunately, will not bounce back. Remember, this is a cycle that's heavily dominated by institutional investors and traders, which means essentially they're controlling the market, right? So this is what everybody needs to understand. Now, with that being said, I don't want to muddy the waters just yet, right? We'll talk about profit taking another time. But what we are going to talk about is, before the cash out, how do you scale faster? Because this is an important point. And I kind of went past it a bit too quickly when I moved on to the cash outs. When you're actually in these projects and they've done well, maybe they've done 10x, 20x, 30x, sometimes you're not supposed to hold on for the 50 or 100x because it may not come. It may come after the market crashes, right? So you want to make sure you can capture that 20, 30x on that project, catch that particular coin's peak, and then roll it over into a new project to stretch your gains. And some of you are probably even at this stage at the moment. You've exhausted the coin, you've milked the market, you've made a ton of profit with that coin, but the coin isn't moving anymore. Right? And you think it's going to move when the market goes up again, but it may not. Why? Because the move has already happened and people are now moving out and moving that coin into another project. So you also have to identify new opportunities. You have to be ready to shift, take advantage of new opportunities to increase your overall percentage gain. And in fact, I'm going to link below step by step the 3 to 10x strategy on how you actually do this, right? Now, with that being said, there's a fast track to all of this. Identifying the right narrative, identifying the right cash, projects. It's all available right now in CC Premium, right? You know, when are we going to exit the market? When to take out of those individual projects, right? So when to take profit from those individual projects that may be exhausted and what to move into next. Again, all available in CC Premium, step by step. So you can literally fast track this entire process, do this with a professional, right? And essentially make life-changing money simply by just following our lead, right? So if you're interested in that, join Crypto Crew Premium now. We've got projects you can enter now, microcap, nanocap, AI picks, meme coin projects that are getting ready to explode, layer ones, you know, tops. We'll be calling the top on XCN and other projects as well. So if you want access to all of that, join CC Premium now. This is going to be an epic cycle. Until the next update, guys, seize the day.